Now today I'm going to be showing you exactly why women only fall in love with men who oftentimes make them feel inadequate. This inadequacy does one specific thing. This causes them to engage deeper into their emotions. Now, what happens when you cause a woman to engage into her emotions? Well, she falls into love at a quicker pace. This is very important for you to learn and to understand, because for the majority of guys out there who are chasing success, self-improving, and working on themselves, despite those things making you appear higher value on paper, those don't do anything to make a woman feel something on the inside. So what I'm going to be showing you today is how to get her to feel the correct emotions that actually makes her want to pursue you. Let's dive in. Okay, today I'm showing you why women only fall in love when they feel inadequate. And this is extremely important for you to know, because it's good when they never feel good enough for you. So I don't really care how that sounds, because you have to know it. Like, it's good when they never feel good enough for you. You understand, when they don't feel good enough for you, they try extra hard. They now want to be extra nice. They now want to be extra pleasing. This is good for you. It's good for you because that way you have some of the leverage. This is what you want. So when you act like this, she works harder to please you. And this is very important because women don't feel feminine unless they're pleasing a man. Like, really let that sink in. If a girl doesn't have a man to consistently please, or like a boyfriend, she's usually unhappy with herself 24/7 because she's trying to find someone. So they get a lot of fulfillment in pleasing a man. Now, a woman who's fully validated with your approval, meaning I love you, you love me, you know I'm not going anywhere, I'm going to give you my validation, okay? When you make them feel good enough, a woman who's fully validated with your approval, now she's going to be rude, she's going to start to look down on you, and then she's going to crave the sex from a different guy. That's probably not what you want. So it's in your best interest to act this way. Now, to internalize this, you must understand that it's her nature to please you. It's truly in her nature. So you must act accordingly. If you act accordingly, you're going to do a lot better in the long run. Now, the reason why this is so important to women is because women are all psychological, okay? Who they fall in love with is dictated based off their emotions and which guy says the right words to them. Okay, high value in the eyes of a woman is far different than what majority of men categorize as high value. So to a woman, things that are hard to obtain seem more valuable. Say that one more time. Things that are hard to obtain seem more valuable. Okay? If you have a collector car and there's only 10 of them made in this specific series, that car is going to have far more value than, you know, the thousands of other cars out there that are made every single day. Things that are hard to obtain seem more valuable, even if they actually aren't. So this is why I'm telling you that high value in the eyes of a woman, it's psychological. Even if that guy actually isn't quote unquote high value or whatever you want to call it, even if they aren't, it still appears that way because it seems like he's a man in demand. Things that are hard to obtain seem more valuable. The reason is because this satisfies the feeling of hypergamy. So, to all of the men out there wondering if you should repetitively see the same woman, you know, multiple times in a row, or if you want to give a woman consistency and approval, you guys have to understand you must be hard to get. If you are not hard to get, she will literally despise you. She will look at you as so low value, she will literally despise you if you're not hard to get. She will not respect you, she will be rude, she'll look down on you. She's going to start to think that you were far too easily won over and you were not a chase, which means not being a chase or a challenge. It does a few specific things that you do not want to have happen. The first thing that it's going to do when you're not a chase, you're not a challenge, is it makes her question if she can do better. So you gotta understand this, the girl you're sleeping with currently, if you're not making yourself appear like a chase, or a challenge. Every night when she goes to bed, she has question marks in her head wondering if she can do better. She's trying to level up. She's going to try to open up her options very shortly. Not only that, it makes her gravitate towards other men who seem superior to you. This is bad news because once again, now you're painting the picture of fantasy in her head that hypergamy can be satisfied in different ways that doesn't include you in the picture. Take that a step further. This now ruins the idea of love that she had for you. When I say ruins the idea of love, women want to look up to a man. If you don't have that dynamic where they look down on you, she feels like she's on the pedestal. Now that she's on the pedestal, she permanently looks down on you. This ruins the idea of love for her. Why am I wording it like this? Ruins the idea of love. You would not believe how many women out there, they meet a guy and they go, damn, I lost another one. Damn, he has a great smile. He makes 6 figures. He's muscular. He's assertive, right? He's a good leader. He's masculine. But you know what? He put me on the pedestal. And since now I feel like I'm on the pedestal, I don't care that he has all those qualities and I'm gone because I now have his approval. This is an important video. You have to understand this. Now that she's on the pedestal, you ruined the idea of love for her. To women, love is an idea. Love is a fantasy. Love is an illusion. Play your cards accordingly. Now, moving on to the next step, you might be wondering, how do you do this? Because if you actually get down to the meat and potatoes, the meat and beans, right? You're sitting down with a girl, or you're on a date with a girl, or you're hanging out with a girl at your house, and you're like, well, how does this actually look verbally? Like, what am I supposed to say, or how am I supposed to act? Okay, this is the art of never being serious or never being logical with a woman. When you're with a woman, okay, you are never logical. You're in a mood 24/7 where you're vibing, you're chilling, and you're playing pretend, right? If I'm watching a movie with a girl, I'm talking about the movie characters, and if she resembles some of them, right? If she has some of their traits, I'm making fun of her, I'm teasing her. What you're gonna find is the more oftentimes you act like a jackass that's sarcastic, okay, the more she falls in love with you. This is why a lot of times women will sleep with those sorts of men quickly, because he has good game. Masculine frame is not you being so assertive that you're run the risk of being boring because you're so logical making demands. What it actually is you've created a world where you can play pretend and chill out, and she feels like it's an escape from her current reality. So this is important to understand, because when you're never serious, you're playful, okay, you're lighthearted, what's going to happen is she sees that you're willing to say edgy things that make her feel something. You're able to tease her. She's going to sit there in her subconscious and go, damn, why can't I get this guy to talk to me like an adult? Why can't I get this guy to have real life conversation? Why is it when I ask this guy what he does for a living, why does he say, don't worry about it? Why does he say things like, oh my God, out of everything on a date you could have asked me, you want to talk about work? Okay, do you get this? This is why you cannot talk to them logically or have in-depth conversations that are serious, because the second you do, she's out. She will exit, because now you are not fun. And now she has you figured out. If you're going to engage in serious adult-like topics with her, this is now going to make it harder for her to look up to you. This is why I'm telling you, you cannot take them seriously. You have to talk to them in a way that is never serious. You have to talk to them in a way that is never logical. The more she knows about you, the more she knows about your personal life, the less of a mystery that you appear that you are, the more she starts to exit. The second you make these mistakes, she's out. The reason being, okay, is because her entering your frame means that she plays pretend the whole time. She plays pretend with you the whole time that you're with her. She's going to constantly flirt back. She's going to constantly play. She's going to constantly have fun, and you're going to notice the whole time she's sitting there laughing or giggling. The way you know that you're winning a woman over, or the way that you know that she's super into you, and I don't care if you're at a bar, I don't care if you're in a house party, I don't care if you're chilling with a girl out at a restaurant, or if you guys are back at your place watching a movie, if you watch her giggle repetitively, or if she say things like, "You're so funny," or if she starts to laugh uncontrollably, that emotion that you're generating out of her is going to make her more aroused and gravitate towards you. You're slowly actually winning over her heart. This is extremely important because her entering your frame means that she plays pretend with you the whole time. Now, there's been times in my life where I've had a full 2-hour date, or I've hung out with a girl for a full 2 hours without knowing her job or what she does for a living, because I don't care and it's irrelevant. And that's the last type of thing that I'm going to be asking a girl or trying to figure out, because they don't want to talk about any of that anyways. What masculine frame looks like, if you actually would see it from an outside perspective, it's going to be her entering into your world, and your world is dictated based off the emotions that you create with your words. This is very important. The traits that you think are high value, such as you're stoic, you're masculine, right? You've self-improved, you make money. Those are good too, right? But those are more or less the most important things that she looks for to give you the respect when you guys are actually dating or consistently seeing each other. You need both sides of the coin, right? But oftentimes if you're missing this, it's hard to actually get that emotional impulse out of her to where she actually looks at that guy and goes, "Damn, I actually like him. I like his personality. He's the type of guy I want." That's what you want, is you want her to want to also pursue you. So in order to do this, the long play with this, the more you start to see a woman, and this stems into why I title this, "Why You Must Always Make Sure That There's That Feeling of Inadequacy," is because you want to be the guy that they can never fully possess. You want to be the guy that they can fully never lock down. Women will fantasize sexually about all different types of men besides the guy that they're with. Okay? Say that with me again. Women fantasize sexually about all different types of men except the guy that they're actually with. Except the guy that they sleep beside each night who pays the light bill and the mortgage. Women fantasize about all different types of men besides the guy that they're with. This will make sense in a second. Once she possesses you or locks you down into a relationship, feelings slowly change. Now, why did I use the word fantasize? Because to a woman, fantasy in girl world is oftentimes the real world. This is how they feel their emotion. So stick with me. Female fantasy is based off of what they don't have. Okay? It's what they don't possess. It's what they don't have. Female fantasy is based off of what they can't have, right? There's a feeling that since it's hard to get or hard to obtain, there's higher desire. Female fantasy is also based off what isn't real. It's an illusion. So take that a step further. If the fantasy came true, it would no longer be a fantasy, because now it's just became the real world. Now it's just became real life. Which is why women fantasize about all different types of men besides the guy that they're actually with, which is why I'm telling you the guy that they're actually with has now became real life. Now that question of hypergamy is he the best I can do, starts to creep back in. This is why your best bet is to never act serious or never take women very seriously when you're speaking to them. You don't want to talk about real world topics. You don't want her to know hardly anything about you or your personal life or what you do or what makes you you, because the second you do that, you now run the risk of going logical and now you're boring. Masculine frame on the front end, when you first start meeting a girl, when you first start dating her, when you guys first start seeing her that first 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 dates, this is where the vibe of you being chill and relaxed needs to be fun. The masculine frame that you've created, the world you create that she comes into, is one that's based off of fantasy. She enjoys your presence. This is extremely important, and when you do this properly, this is why you'll slowly see that women only fall in love when they have feelings of inadequacy. If you like this video, I would like you to hit the like button. I would like you to comment and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.